Hi guys, it's me again. Just got my second HCG beta results this afternoon. Thought I would share them with you. My first one was on Monday, and it was 184, which was great considering I was 4 weeks and something odd days. Wednesday, it had almost doubled. It was 347. It should have been about 368 to be doubled in 48 hours. The nurse said that they like to see it at least with a 60% increase, so mine was perfectly fine. But I have to call again on Monday to make my first appointment, which should be in about 8 weeks. It was kind of funny this morning because my husband and I finally had sex for the first time since we found out we're pregnant, because I've been paranoid about having a miscarriage right after we have sex. But we did yesterday. And then this morning my cramps were a little bit worse than they normally are lately. And he was like, oh my god, what if we lose the baby now right after we had sex? So I had to take a digital just to ease his mind, and it was hilarious. Because my pee was practically clear with how much water I drank this morning before I took it. And it popped up right away even though it was a digital. But yeah, I did the math, and my first test, the Walmart cheapie that I took, about 12 DPO, 2 days before my period was due thereabouts. I did the math, and I should have had a blood HCG count of about 45-ish, thereabouts, when I took that one. And there's less urine. There's less HCG in your urine than there is in your blood. There's supposed to be anyways. Sorry, I've got massive heartburn and indigestion right now. Spaghetti will do that to you. But I should have had about 45 HCG in my blood that night, which, you know, kind of evens out with how dark I remember it being. But I guess that works out. My bloating gets worse as the day goes on. I'm going to try to show you guys how bad it is in the evenings. And normally I'm right around here. So, like, all of this, that's all bloat. Normally I have a very flat stomach, but by evening, this is all bloat. This is my hip bones here. But yeah, that's pretty gnarly right here. We finally told my grandmother. I thought that she'd be awful and terrible and you don't need a baby right now. But all she said was congratulations and I hope you don't get nausea too bad. So I guess I didn't give her nearly as much credit as I should have. We still have not gotten around to telling my husband's father. We want to tell him in person, and we haven't had a chance to see him in person yet. It's only been about a week since we knew that we were pregnant. A week and a day, actually, I think it is. He said that I tested on Thursday, so, you know. It's so funny to me that this all started because I couldn't get on my Baby Center account because my internet crapped out. It's just so funny to me that I couldn't get on Baby Center. I couldn't get my baby fix from Baby Center. So you know what? I'm going to take a friggin' test. Positive. Hi. But the thing is that I wasn't even certain that I had ovulated yet, because at the beginning of this cycle, my father-in-law had a heart attack, a minor heart attack. And then that was cycle day 2 that we went up there to see him in the hospital. And a couple of days after that, too. And then pretty much the day he got released, my great-grandmother, my Missy, she fell, broke her ankle, and we found out that she had pneumonia. So the beginning of this cycle was terrible, and from the stress of it, I had a 10-day period this cycle. That was awful, let me tell you. But and then from the stress of all of that, and you know, we just decided that we weren't really going to try this month. It was just going to be one of those, you know, focus on the rest of our lives. But yeah, I haven't been temping for about 2 months now. So I wasn't even sure that I ovulated because I had only had about a day of fertile-ish mucus show up, and my cervix hadn't even really hit, you know, high, soft, and open. So I wasn't certain if I had even ovulated yet. So that's kind of funny. I had actually told my husband that I wouldn't be testing until right about now, if I hadn't gotten my period by now. And we see how awful I am at that. I'm horrible. Even when I'm not trying, I tested 12 DPO. At least it wasn't 5 like I've done. Guilty. I justified it as I needed to know if I tested positive early so that I could, you know to look out for an ectopic. Salem is still loving all over me. He's a sweet boy. His daddy's getting annoyed with him. Always been being on my stomach when he wants to be. I am 5 weeks pregnant today, so that's super exciting. I'm out of the range of a chemical pregnancy as of today. Now I just have to wait 3 more weeks for my first doctor's appointment to see that heartbeat and have the risk of miscarriage lowered even more. Because they say that it's a lower risk after you hit 5 weeks because you're no longer at risk for a chemical pregnancy. And then, again, at 8 or 9 weeks when you see the heartbeat, your risk is lowered again. And then at 12 weeks when you're out of the first trimester, your risk is lowered even more. But now we just have to wait for that ultrasound in about 3.5, 4 weeks, whatever. Hopefully 3 weeks. I'm not entirely certain that I can wait much longer. I'm going crazy here. But yeah, my symptoms have actually eased off a little bit. I think that the day that they were worse was mostly because I was out in the heat and not drinking a lot of water like I have been. But yeah, I'm still getting dizzy. I have noticed that I'm peeing a lot more. Like a lot more. It's funny, my dream last night was actually me constantly going to the bathroom. Like I would pee, pull my pants up, walk out my bathroom door, close the door, and by the time my hand left the handle, I had to turn around and go pee again. And then this morning when I woke up, I had to pee, and then an hour later I hadn't drank anything, and then I had to pee again. Like, what the hell? Bladder, get with the program here. I don't need to pee that much. Before pregnancy, I was peeing twice a day, no joke. Okay, because in high school, I hated the school bathrooms because they were so dirty and nasty, and the toilet paper was just icky, and I'd rather just wait until I get home. So, yeah, I mean, I would pee in the morning, afternoon, possibly at night. I mean, it never really bothered me too much. But yeah, I was also in the marching band, so, I mean, I was used to having to hold it. You know, when you're on the field, you don't really get to say, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. I mean, you can, but if it's an everyday occurrence, the director is gonna think that something's up. Yeah, my boobs are still a little bit sensitive. They're not too bad, but they are very sensitive, especially on the sides here. I have noticed that my queasiness has actually eased off a lot. And that worried me today until I got my results from Wednesday back, because my queasiness wasn't really here all that much today, like at all. But I do attribute that to eating small meals, like throughout the day. Like I was eating small snacks throughout the day, a Pop-Tart here, a small bowl of spaghetti, things like that. So if you are having queasiness, try that. It does help a little bit. For me, it helped a lot. It got rid of a lot of my queasiness because my stomach always had something in it, but it wasn't full. But yeah, I guess I'll do another video in a few days, hopefully to update that we finally told my father-in-law. Hopefully, honestly, I'm kind of hoping for my queasiness back. It was the only thing that really made me feel pregnant. I don't know. Does that make me a bad person? I don't know, but I want it back. I still do not have any more tests. Like I said, I took my last digital this morning. Not loving it. I'm not loving it. I'm not loving my bathroom being empty of tests. I have one ovulation test left. Who knows, I might take that as a pregnancy test one day. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to sign off because, well, who knows, y'all probably already clicked back anyways. But if you are still here, Bye. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Salem says goodbye.